Hey, everybody. Uh, I don't know if you can hear as well as I can. All right. I wanted to share with you Paul. I'll share his link. That's even better. Kalkbrenner from the Sonar Festival set in 2013 with some beautiful Mandelbrats. And if you have been following me recently, you have realized I've got a thing for Mandelbrats. And they're beautiful and they're mathematical formulas. And it's kind of the synesthesia that AI has figured out and given us the math formulas to understanding the creation of pattern. However, humans create, and this is how one of the ways we do that. So happy Tuesday, everybody. It is Oracle duty time. So it's time to be here and say a few things, but really just wanted to first just bless you and thank you for taking a minute as I sit under a Wilco parental unit, I like to call them. They remind me of their presence and being here always, and the value of knowing, excuse me, that stability of having someone having your back, right? And what's beautiful about the trees, where I can sit and get the most comfortable, they got your back. You lean against them and feel their support. Or lean my head, my weary head, against my papa and just let him absorb the pain, is what I felt the experience was. And so it was just a blessing to just go, the elementals, they're always there. And grateful that our cycles are and our lifespans are shorter, we don't get the value of the consistency of what they've got to offer. But when you do, you go, oh, that feels good. That feels good. So happy Tuesday again. And what I wanted to share with you is just something that I've been resonating on. And again, this is Phyllis Raleigh with, I forget to do that part. I'm working on consistency, y'all. Trust me. I'm working on it. I need to have someone, I need a slight Dom switch to get on my butt and make me do stuff. So I'm calling on my spiritual dominant types. Actually, the priest is right behind me, is what I'm thinking about. I'll have to get him to get on me and get me on schedule as I should be and take care of my voice, which is what I'm going to go be doing next. But this is Phyllis Raleigh, and I am Modern Oracle 2019, doing a report on the Earth as I see it now and as a collective on this planet, how we are moving about through it as a species, trying to find our way, trying to direct our paths based on our freedom and our sovereignty as humans. So, for those that I can reach, and for those that need to be reached, and those that are supposed to be reached, hey, how y'all doing? Um, it's been a real mirror to face the lack of my voice, which has been the humbling of humbling. And when it's like the last vestige of blockage to get your work done, it's an internal one. So you go, all right, what do I need to learn from this? I took a funny picture, I thought, this morning on Instagram, and if you're following me there. And I only posted there because it's just a little venues from my life. It was just a lineup of all of the natural medicines I've been doing and taking versus a bit of a amoxicillin that's still sitting here that hasn't been used in over a year because I went, no, I'm going natural. And it's been going around. So it's not something that's unknown here. It's just an infection that stayed in my throat. And I did go see an MD. And she asked me, which way you want to go? And I said, let's go natural. So, whoom, 2 pages later of medicines, I went, oh, it's not working yet. But we're persevering and going to just keep going versus taking the pill. And I did the emotional stuff. I got that down too. And I'm like, okay, more dancing. It's a shortcut. More being in gratitude. And it's, I got off my gratitude diet yesterday, I realized. But, I kind of wake up with the joy. So it's always nice to wake up with the joy and see where I live. That gives me instant gratitude in the morning. I open up and I like what I see when I wake up in the morning. My first view is, oh, yeah, I can see those that love me and know me and are connected to me. And as that Mandelbrot feels, we're all turning in our own story, but we are experiencing it together and cycling together. And it's like when we see, hey, how you doing? So, what I wanted to talk about this morning, since I have not been bombarded by questions, and yes, I have, and I will share some that I have been given to me off camera. I'm drinking 2 things this morning. So lemon and the vitamin C, magnesium, zinc. And that one's sweet. Ah, meekness. Pop over a minute. And I'm going to share with you what I'm sharing with my Oracle study on. And that is I've been asked to create a school. I went, man, I did that already. I went, okay. And it was the Oracle School. And Jordan on this particular talk is speaking about that. And I have it posted in the Patreon group. So if you're there, you've got it. What he's saying about meekness, and you can Google it, you ain't lazy. And as he looked at various definitions, it was the understanding that meekness is who has holds a sword in his sheath, has it, but because he remained no matter around him, that is the definition of meekness. The modern definition has taken away the sword altogether. So you just have a man who stands vulnerable or backs down because that's what he'll have to do without his ability to protect or herself or their self. It is in that awareness of your instinctive power and ability that you can be calm. I wanted to remind my community, and one of the things that always kept me from pursuing this spiritual quote unquote path. And it's not just spiritual, it is more, dare I say, holistic. Um, and understanding that spirituality is not enough. Most powerful emotional relationship I ever had in my life, the most love I've ever felt or was able to give in my life. And yet, that's all I had in the relationship. And I realized love was not enough. And that was humbling. It was painful and humbling. And it still, like, rub it, but you kind of rub it this way. You can't. I forgot the mic's on the other side now. You just rub it and touch it, and it just connects back to that central little hole. I love my Mandelbrats. Um, so, what Mr. Peterson reminds us is that the really way to deal with this um, hole in our hearts, this intensity of darkness. Let me just go back a minute. What brought the meekness to mind was looking at an article I saw in the news, and I pulled back on some of the Oracle Uncensored reports because you don't need to have the story repeated. And until I had new information or something that was of value, it's enough. You know it's there. However, a story came up in the sexual trauma areas about the financial. And the quote, and it gave a source to the FBI, but when the FBI had pulled down the link, was that 9.5 billion annually was what the sex industry, the illegal child sex industry, gained. And this was more than the guns and the drugs, illicit, marijuana, speed, coke, all of it. Do they do speed anymore? I feel old, sorry. Put together. Not put together. I don't know the comparisons of what the highest drugs are. If somebody knows it, please share it with me. But because of that, I went, it's always follow the money. And because this has been the darkness of this secret has been held back so long, because we didn't want to see it, but it's been all around us. And we have sat in our little pools of love and light and ignored it because I use the line, but if we focus on what we want, then we can manifest. Yes, we agree. And then there's that piece that says, but you are one with all. And as I look at my Wilco tree, it says, I've always been here. I went, yeah, but I never noticed. So when I look at the abuse that's happening with children, and I've dealt and worked with and lived with and surround myself with humans who have all had trauma of one type or another, because that's part of the package. You don't get out of here without a little trauma or a lot of trauma. And it's surviving the trauma and the shadows that come with it, or ignoring it, and being overwhelmed by the shadows. That what spoke to me that I needed to talk about today. Forgive me. One water, please. So, also, I got to tell you, I'm going to be checking into a hospital. Not a real hospital, a clinic, though. Thank God, not a real hospital. And Quantum Wellness Center. And I said, let's go, Quantum, baby. Let's go, Quantum, and let's get it all done. Because I need to address all issues on all levels so I can move forward. I got stuff to do and things to talk about. But it is nice to have a soft, sexy voice. I'm enjoying that. Hope you are too. This is my ASMR style of doing my work. Anyway, I'm playing with you. All right. Where were we? Meekness. Shadow and forgiveness. So the first and probably the hardest part is to look at the shadow. Looking at the things we don't want to look at. It's really what we're doing in this game. This matrix is about driving your will through these many layers of options, holes, triggers, spots to go, things to look at, things to be distracted by, things to hold you. And yet there's further more to look at. There's something more to see. But yet in the shadows, and it's beautiful. Looking at what's next is the easiest part for me. Looking at what's behind and what I didn't do right is the hard part, because that is the requirement of making some decisions, making some judgments, making some self-analysis that I'd rather not do. To be honest, let's just go, let's just look ahead. Let's look at what we want, the shiny mirror, the pretty baubles, the dance of what could be. And what I find that matters is my state of being, because that reflects what's inward, which is an infection, I remind myself, and what is outward, what I'm projecting, what story I'm telling, what reality am I living, how complex am I making it. And I choose to embrace the shadow. As my dear brother, my priest reminds me, my priest next door. This is my chef. Can't even see my food shots. They're only on Instagram. Because I'm like, this isn't that what Instagram's for? It is the love of radical honesty that makes it so clear. And in that aha moments that happen, there is a reality that it doesn't matter whether I do right or wrong. It matters that I am honest. I didn't expect that. Honestly, I was like, wait, no, camps. We got to be in one camp or another, right? The right camp, the right way, pureness of heart, pureness of light. But I'm like, we know that's a life work. And if it's a life work, then it's like, that shit is hard. If we're going to be honest with it. And pretty much impossible to stay in one camp all the time, whether it's good or evil. And Good Omens was my Gary introduced me to, and it was a lovely comparison of two angels, one who had gone dark and gone demon, and the other one who was just dipping his toe in it, and they were best friends. And the space between them connected them, helping each other, working with each other, making their experiences of be the piece that brought them together. And it was so funny because their bosses were both dumb. God's side and the dark side. They ain't so smart up there, and you just kind of giggle. Well, there's an angle we don't quite think about. And I've kind of thought about it once when I've compared it to AI, and I was looking at Og Tellis's work, and he was talking about God is this big creator. Good point, because we're all programmable. This is a matrix after all. It does have to have a program. And it are viruses and system is got that problem. Viruses in all levels, in all forms. Reality that we have to deal with and work with and integrate and put them in their place. That we at once protect ourselves. I'm doing on 13th of the month. Do every day, 13th of the 18th minute. I recognize the elementals in my beautiful Garden of Eden, which I have desired for myself and manifested for myself. So, in that space of radical, I get to look at my shadow. And my shadows have forced me to look at light and find my reasonings and my actions and my behavior to reflect what I want or course correct, change the direction of my will in the direction I want. And yet I appreciate usually every night in the dungeon. It's not too many nights I had a bad night in the dungeon. So I was grateful for all of that sensual learning and sensual development of my psyche and my being. It made me who I am. And I so appreciate that complexity. So I don't really have a whole lot to scare you with. It's been kind of a nice turn of energy. And as my body becomes the subject of my focus, I am grateful for every moment. Every swallow, every bit of moisture that feels normal. I want to remind you that the summer solstice is coming, or winter solstice for North America, or the Northern Hemisphere. And this will be we've got more eclipses coming. And as they align up, we have more radical punches into our metaphysical world. And the veils again get thinner and more comes through. So as you are looking at the new moons and the full moons, pay attention to the quiet times you have and what comes through. Listen for the story, listen for the magic, listen for the answers, ask the questions, and create spaces of listening for yourself. If you haven't had your life maps done, please do so you know what to be gentle with yourself and what to focus on. That's really what they're there for. Use your maps when you get lost. Call me when you get stuck. That's what I'm here for. If you're traveling, get your astral travel charts. And if you need to do a face reading and want to look at someone, especially if you're starting to date and mingle and you're looking at someone, that's the best way. And I learned face reading from Headhunters, Professional Human Resource Management Association. They were the ones that said, hook yourself up, baby. This is good stuff. And I'm about to take a course with the Chinese methods. I'm really looking forward to that and learning both sides and how the East and the West looks at our physical. And I really appreciate the Taoist method of looking at the physical body. And that's what I look at, as well as your life maps will tell you what your propensities are. And I have just finished listening to Flair Bruin talk about the blood types and our ancestry and understanding the complexity that our blood gives us and knowledge about who we are. And I'll be working with that and adding that to the charts. And if you had a chart done with me and you know your blood type, please hit me up and I will get you a chart. I think I'll just do it. A nominal fee. Your Patreon membership, that should be your nominal fee. Patreon members get it free. So, Patreon folks, I'll take care of you. And past customers as well. Y'all know I can't let you go without some information. And let's move forward in this. So, I do have to get to the question that was asked of me. And it was about end of life tourism. And I went, oh, well, who had thought of that? And it's a question I was like, do I have to? But yeah, I do. So this is the adulting part and being responsible and just uh, addressing the need. My sister Carol Dennis has been doing amazing work with a site called VilkaBambaConnections.com and VilkaDying.com. Let me write. She is filling a need, simply a passion that she has had to address. How do you die here? And basically out of frustration because she saw her friends dying and not finding the answers for a American style hospice that we're kind of used to. Amazing how Americans have gotten good at dying. We've professionalized dying. And I keep going, Soylent Green, let's do the Soylent Green. And she went, yeah, something like that. And that was a beautiful sensory experience where you really go out. Like my teacher Willow taught me, the best way to go out is on ketamine, baby. You stay conscious the whole way. And I went, really? Okay. Note to self, stash some ketamine if you can get your hands on some. And if you are, but I have a note, don't start on it because it's quite addictive and kind of difficult to get off of. So don't play with it. So with the using of medicines, and the question was, can we get morphine? And the problem with living in Ecuador, this is a young population, and they don't get sick like Americans get sick. Remember, we've been poisoned a lot longer than they have, and so we're dying of stuff they had never seen before, and it's not something that they can address without having worked with us, and so we've got to work with them. Hook up to a local doctor. That's everywhere. Find a local herbalist to take care of you and connect you with a medicine if you need it. There's another pain and not having resources. And your Facebook groups will be slow, maybe. Hopefully not. If that's the only thing you got, it could be slow. If you got something local, even better. Because if you don't have internet, then you got a problem. So, plan B is to have your ducks in order and be responsible for yourself and take care of your body abroad, especially for us that travel, and that's who most of y'all are. You get around. So when someone has to deal with a body and your stuff, or if you are the one that has to deal with the body and stuff, then please help them out. And here's what you need to do. Communities like Monster Community, it may be your turn to step up and do it and do the what's best in it for you is best in it for everyone, blesses everybody. So if you can come from that perspective and get it done, congratulations. It's altruism working its magic. What else do I want to share with you? Meet the Healers. One of the things I wanted to share was Sunday I had a Meet the Healers group here in Vilcabamba, and it was something I learned from Tea Temple in Copenhagen. And if you haven't gone to Sanctuary Tea Temple, you are missing out. And Copenhagen's one of the best parts of Copenhagen. And my brother up north with the domes. Is that you got to meet different healers and hear their stories and perspectives. Now, what's interesting here was I wanted to live record it, like we do. But the majority that were there said no, they don't want to be live. And I went, oh, snap, in that way. If I can't advertise you, how are we going to do this, y'all? And so they had a couple of other suggestions, and that was to create packages for our community and market them that way. And then a bulletin board and a directory of services. That's what I'll be doing. I have before I can list you in my directory, I have to use your services and I got to recommend them. And so we'll be going that. And some I can already start on, so I'm excited about that. We'll be able to put that together. And then the others, I get to try some more services. So I'm like, ooh, I like to try it all. So I was like, bring it, baby. I don't want to have what I've had on the menu. I want to have what I haven't had on the menu. And that's why I'm really excited about the Quantum Wellness Center and going, let's go deep. And I love good health tech, and I'd love to introduce her to some more and just go, how can we kick it work? So before we get to palliative and conscious dying, we can have some real living and enjoy every day. So realize when you realize you are dying, that's when you really start living. And so that matters. And it makes most sense to take your heart emotionally go, period. Just emotionally where you want to go. That allows you to exhale more, breathe and sigh and enjoy each moment. And you're trucking in the direction you want to go, come what may, because May is coming. May is coming. And it don't matter. It don't matter. You're doing what you love. Ooh, I just saw a bluebird. I hadn't seen one of those before. That was a treat. Well, my first bluebird on the continent. Nice. Sorry. Okay. Bluebirds. Thank you. You got blue with me. There was a nice little pop of blue. Ooh. Okay. So that's what I got for you today. I do need to mention on the weather front. Let me just check something. It's all good. Okay. I do have to share this. Hold on. Owning Masculinity is the group for the masculine identified. It is still on Facebook. I apologize for that, but it is necessary. And because that's where y'all are at. And I am gathering as I was directed to do from a dream to gather as many as I could. So I have to go back to the old and reach out to the new, which means I do a lot of clicking during the day and my fingers hurt. But thank God for Tom Colby, who takes care of my body. And I have the smartest hands in Vilcabamba working on my body, making sure I can game. And as I'm getting ready for 60, I'm just like, ooh, here we go. But this is what I wanted to share with you is that thing. Here's Monday meditations guided so that we go deep and stay anchored. My quirky sense of humor, not quirky, I like my humor. I had men fashions because I have all kind of men. I like, and I want to within myself. And owning the masculinity within myself is taking responsibility for the things that need to be addressed in this world. And I close a blind. Will take the subject, the abuse of the masculine, and say, fuck, no, we need to stop. So, my book, I'm going into the closet and I'm finished. It is done. I'm not going to do any more. I'll write another book. All right. Well, let me just get it out to you. My voice is going and that. So that's why when I come back out of the hospital, the clinic, the Quantum Wellness Center, QWC, quick, I have to get something cute. I will be on my game for work. Water. So, questions. I see you. Who you don't know who you be, so say hello. And put a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. How many clicks is that? Bunta, bunta, bunta. My clicks because my hands are feeling them. So I'm going to start counting. How many clicks does it take to get? Or, and there's that young female rapper. The bluebird just got closer, y'all. Wow. Wish I could. I can't flip the screen, so we don't have that option here. Beautiful. All right, that's a commercial. Let's go back to Paul. I'm enjoying his work. Share Paul. Paul. This is so strange. Hello. So I was talking this morning about radical honesty and addressing it for your own self and your own shadow. If you've heard me talk about Ho'oponopono and using it for clearing negative energies, clearing bad feelings, clearing your animosity toward anyone, and it's an important tool. But now it's more important to use radical honesty for yourself and clearing the shadows in your own heart and mind. And that's where work gets stuck and it causes static vibration. And I've noticed if I hug someone and I can feel the static in their body. It had that kind of orange color to it, interesting. And what was powerful was the lines of rigidity, and this is a little more hot aching itchiness. And when I could feel it in the body, I went, oh, that's what's going on. It's a feeling inside. And for me, I've noticed any draught, dis-ease in my body shows up on my skin, right? So it's a rash, it's a breakout, it's something, something. And I'm like, okay. And now it's the infection. And so that's even deeper because that's from a deeper root. And I had to look at that too. And I went, yeah, you're right. Okay, what do I do about it? Smile, gratitude, practice your gratitude. It'll help. It is your medicine for yourself. And so with my skin, the same thing. It's like, okay, what issue is showing up? And it's pain of some kind. Now, when it's a bug bite, I'm just like, spray often and cover yourself. That's the lesson. Protect yourself from the environmental because you are edible on all levels from many different aspects. Because of your edibility, it's pretty. You got to be diligent and discerning. It's tough. So, Yep, that's a question. I'm looking, trying to make sure and pay attention if I see comments because I am bad about. I have been in the past and now I'm getting better at it. Ooh, that is very. Oh my. Ooh, that's very I Ching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Remember, these are Mandelbrot's. These are mathematical formulas that are just programmed in with, and the color is natural that comes when you do the mathematical. And what I get to see when I do my first entry into a DMT experience, you get strong Mandelbrot's, and these aren't as strong as the ones I get, but I'm like, oh yeah, they are quite powerful when they're being ignited by your own body. And no matter what is going on externally outside of your body, it is being incorporated as part of the story that you are creating and projecting. So you think it's happening to you, but no. You are making it happen by opening your eyes and existing. So that was like, oh, there's that level of understanding the story and trying to make sense of all of this matrixy stuff. But in the meantime, I'm trying to get over it. I'm looking at my selection of here's my next one I'm sipping. I am doing drugs, just not of the hallucinogen type. They are of the natural type because I didn't want to take a pill. So, Western medicine, y'all did some stuff taking care of symptoms, but I want to take care of the problem. And these are natural, slower, holistic. But that's one of the things you got to remember when you're doing holistic. It's subtle, and it has to be consistent. If you don't have a practice of taking care of yourself, the lazy man's way is to take a pill. And I'm definitely a fan of the shortcut. Don't get me wrong. Make it simple for me. And I'm up in my game, and I'm like, I'm going down this road of health. Let's see how far I have to go and what I do have to do to make that switch. And my dear sister Faraday, who runs wellness, she said, you need to change something. And I went, I need to stop. And that means take off and go. So I think I'll be back next Tuesday, but well, I expect to be back next Tuesday, but I have the ability to do my committed days, and I have given my Wednesday to Mestizo. Linda Gomez is going to do the interview on keto, so if you are in town, please give her some love and come eat some keto because it is delicious. Much healthier. Before keto was paleo, which is kind of same. So it works. That I know my body has been very happy with. And it's really just because we got so many. We are fighting an uphill battle. It's not just you. Remember, the environment is not your friend right now. And we live in the time of the Kali Yuga, and it's just going to get a little tougher before it gets better. The golden age is coming, and our children will hopefully see that and live through that. And we'll get to experience it and shift time. It's one of the things that is nice to know, that you can play with time and shift it. And my dreams and have taught me that the story and even what I dream may not come out in the time. The time may flip in the order of things happening. So I'm betting I can play with time in this whole game and direct the ship of our collective wills into a peaceful valley that we may all celebrate and enjoy and live the dreams that we have hoped collectively, that we've not even had the courage, words to speak. I'm remembering the innocence of our youth when Michael Jackson wasn't abusing children and singing, I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. That's a powerful statement right there. And then he adds the Coca-Cola part, which we don't need, but that was the when you use the words to speak what the realities you want, and I go, ooh, well, let's drive. And so I would speak, as I do on my Monday meditations with my brothers, eh, in the masculine, only masculinity space, is to speak the direction that we want to take our collective mind. And that collective mind is in being able to see beauty when you open up your eyes. And that by the work of your hands that you create beauty and justice. And that by your choices in your work, in your clothing, in your food, in your sleep, in your dance, in your movement, are choices that are consciously made continuously, because it is a complex universe. It's not going to be a one choice answer. And we can choose to observe and not be stuck by one issue. That we acknowledge what is true and what is right, and we make the choice to give honorage to what is good and right, so that we can see more life into that. And shining light into darkness and radical honesty is part of that goodness, right? It's correcting the darkness. It is getting your shift back in place so that you're not all good or all evil. You are driving the ship of your will in the direction you want to go. And acknowledging darkness, acknowledging the evil, and shining light on it, which means you share, you give, you vote, you do what matters. You do not participate in cheap sex. And here's the thing that it occurred to me in the industry: buying a child is cheaper than buying an adult. That's when the choices are made differently. And porn, free porn, which I'm a porn user, they're giving me the child porn and they want to sell me the adult porn, which means you're putting women, adult women who've made a choice to continue in this industry or not based on an adult reasoning is one thing. But giving me child porn and putting it in front of my face, the numbers, 5 million views on a child porn video versus 5,000 on adult, any category. Any category. So we're being sold and addicted again to a powerful weapon of darkness that just controls us, just us. And it's looking at that and shining light on that heals it, heals it. Own it, address your darkness so that you're not weak. You are meek when you can hold your sword in your sheath, dick in your pants, mouth, your tongue in your mouth, your wallet, money in your wallet, and choose what is most healthier for your spiritual, intellectual, emotional, instinctual, and sexual intelligence. It's a whole system. And when you're not in alignment with the whole system, you have dis-ease as, wow, the bloomer just put up above me. I'm like, okay, wow. Whew, look at that handlebar. You gotta watch yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, kind of that basic line. Interesting, challenging times. It's really only thing that matters is what you're doing with yourself. You know, whatever course you're taking, great, take it. If you got your charts, follow them. Know your synchronicities, know your flows. The Mayans are nice at giving you daily flows. And what the Mayan astrologers tell me is that you don't need third dimensional astrology anymore when you understand Mayan synchronicity. This is why I like the Dream Spell calendar, which I put up every now and then. And Vasumi, if I not pronounce her last name, Vasumi also has them and posts them. Let's see if she's posted one. I'll look. So, love y'all. No questions? Come on, hit me up with a question. So I won't be satisfied until I said something useful. I got a profile, I still can't pronounce it. Jijika. Zijik. Oh, I can look on my phone. Hello, I got it on my phone. It is White Cosmic Dog. I endure in order to love, transcending loyalty. I seal the process of heart with the cosmic tone of presence. I am guided by the power of timelessness. Ooh, yeah, that was good. That was a good reminder. By the power of timelessness. All right, kids, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And join me next week. I appreciate your thoughts of healing and awakening and sight. I need to see what I'm not seeing and be clear about all of those little details that may be in my shadow. Because, oh, baby, shadows are a nice place to sweep things under a rug. I was, I like to think I'm probably can be pretty good at it. So, we'll do what we can do. So, namaste, and I bid you adieu.